What if I told you that the very thing holding you back is actually your greatest weapon? Yeah, that pit in your stomach. The spiraling 2 a.m. what-ifs. The overthinking that makes your brain think it's at war with itself. It's not a curse, it's a signal, a gift. Because anxiety, when used right, can make you dangerous in the best possible way. Today, we're diving into how anxiety, that annoying mental storm, can actually make you powerful. Not just manage it, wield it. And to prove it, we're going straight into the world of Vinland Saga. Because nobody rides the emotional roller coaster harder than Thorfinn. Let's talk about how anxiety becomes a weapon and how you can use it to become unstoppable. Anxiety's like that overprotective friend, the one who freaks out about everything, but it's just trying to keep you safe. Let's be real. Anxiety can feel like your brain's throwing a full-blown medieval festival in your chest, complete with fire-breathing dragons and existential dread. Here's the deal. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, anxiety is your brain's early warning system. It's there to spot threats and prepare you to act. Problem is, your brain hasn't evolved much since the caveman days. It reacts the same way to a saber-toothed tiger as it does to a text from your boss that just says, "Hey." But here's the twist. The tension you feel, that chest-tightening, heart-racing fear, that's pure energy. It sharpens you. It focuses you. It gets you ready. Think about Thorfinn, watching his father, the person he idolized, get betrayed and killed. In that moment, childhood ends, and his brain switches into survival mode. And his anxiety? It doesn't make him weak. It morphs into sharp-edged rage. It morphs into fuel. It's like his emotions got a Viking upgrade. Berserker mode unlocked. That storm inside, it didn't stop him, it drove him. He doesn't freeze, he trains, he fights, he survives. Now jump to your life. You've got exams, a dry group chat, your mom just hit you with a real job question, your stomach flips. That's not panic, that's not you breaking down. That's your body saying, yo, it's game time. Time to level up, champ. Anxiety doesn't show up when you're coasting. It shows up when you're standing at the edge of something important. So don't waste time pushing it away. Listen, use it. Let it remind you that something here matters and that you're built to handle it. Thorfinn didn't let the storm drown him. He learned how to fight through it. So can you. Here's a wild one. Anxiety actually makes you better at stuff. Seriously. Here's a scoop. A little anxiety is actually good for you. A study in personality and individual differences found that people with moderate anxiety, they often perform better than others on tasks that need focus, endurance, and quick decision-making. Why? Because anxiety amps up your alertness. It's your brain's way of yelling, hey, this matters, pay attention. Think of it like your body's built-in Red Bull. Not too much, you don't want a short circuit, but just enough? You're writing essays like a poet on espresso. Now look at Thorfinn again. That guy was a machine, haunted, broken, and borderline feral. But he took all that nervous energy and turned it into purpose. Haunted by his father's death, he didn't eat, he didn't laugh, he trained. He pushed. That constant edge, the pressure in his chest, it fuels him like a Viking Terminator. Not the healthiest coping method, but undeniably effective. Anxiety, when locked into a mission, can make you unstoppable. Ever had that surge of, I'm gonna do this energy at 11:43 p.m. the night before a deadline? You've been procrastinating for weeks, but suddenly you're typing like a caffeinated squirrel. That's anxiety going, let's go! And somehow you actually nail it. Anxiety isn't always your enemy. When you learn to ride the wave instead of wiping out, it becomes your launch pad. Think of it like turbo mode. Scary at first, but powerful when you know how to steer. So don't run from it. Don't numb it. Aim it. Anxiety's not your kryptonite. It's your edge, if you know how to steer it. But let's be real. Sometimes you break. You hit that point where you're just done, numb, empty, and nothing feels okay. We all have that moment. The I'm not okay and also please don't ask me how I am moment. It's not pretty, but here's the science. Emotional breakdowns aren't the end. They're like your brain forcing a software update after too many tabs are open. Psychologist Lisa Feldman Barrett says emotions aren't fixed. They're built, and they can be rebuilt. So if you feel like your feelings are falling apart, you're not breaking, you're remodeling. Thorfinn's entire reason for existing was revenge. But then Askeladd dies. Poof, no more target. Suddenly, Thorfinn's motivation, anxiety, and rage all collapse in on him like a Viking-sized emotional black hole. No more revenge. No more mission. He spirals. Just silence. But that collapse, it became his pivot. No more rage-fueled killing. Time for reflection, guilt, and eventually, the rage, the hate, the obsession. It made room for something better, redemption. Ever quit a toxic job or left a draining relationship? At first, it feels weird. It gets quiet, too quiet, like horror movie quiet. You feel empty and kind of weird, like you're floating in space. But then, clarity kicks in. Your body breathes again. Your sleep gets better. Food actually tastes like food again. That's not weakness. That's your nervous system rebooting. That's recovery. Hitting rock bottom doesn't mean you failed. It means the outdated version of you just got uninstalled. Like Thorfinn, you have to sit in the mess and feel the weight. But that's where the new version starts loading. Anxiety might knock you down, but it's also clearing the path for something better. Sometimes your worst moments are just the start of a better version of you. Growth doesn't always look like the glow-ups and gym selfies. Sometimes it looks like a guy farming potatoes in silence. Solitude isn't punishment. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's training. Psych studies say time alone helps you regulate emotions, think clearly, and make better decisions. But today, we're never alone. We've got phones, playlists, notification, noise. Silence feels weird. But when you finally unplug, that's when you hear the whispers under the noise, the thoughts you've been dodging. The truth, anxiety's been trying to scream through all the chaos. That's where the truth lives. Thorfinn puts down the sword, picks up a hoe. Literally, he chops wood, farms, and in that quiet, he finally faces what he's been running from. Guilt, shame, grief. No screaming enemies, no duels, just himself and the past he can't undo. You take a solo walk. No music, no phone, no notifications. Just gravel crunching under your feet and all the spiraling thoughts you've been dodging. At first it's uncomfortable, then it gets real, and suddenly you get clarity. Suddenly you realize you've been stressed out about the wrong thing the whole time. Silence is scary because it's honest. That's where the growth hides. Make space for solitude. Let anxiety talk. When you stop drowning it out, you'll be surprised what wisdom it's been holding back. Growth rarely comes from bubble baths and cupcakes. It usually shows up dragging a log, up a hill, in the rain. Psychologists call it stress inoculation. Tiny doses of discomfort that train your brain to stay calm in chaos. It's the idea that facing small, controlled amounts of stress makes you tougher over time. Kind of like a mental vaccine. You don't get stronger by avoiding difficulty. You get stronger by wrestling it into the dirt and saying, "Is that all you got?" Discomfort, when chosen, becomes power. It trains your brain to stay calm when things go sideways. It's like emotional push-ups. Do enough of them, and when life throws you real chaos, you don't flinch. You flex. Thorfinn didn't just farm potatoes. Thorfinn takes literal beatings, chops wood like a lumberjack with unresolved trauma, carries massive logs, sleeps in pain, and never fights back. Why? Because he chose this pain. It's not suffering, it's the pain of redemption, the kind that builds, not breaks. You step up to give that awkward speech. Your hands shake, your voice cracks, your brain screams, but you do it anyway. You survive. Then you do it again and again. The fear doesn't vanish, but it shrinks. You start standing taller, talking louder. That's your discomfort turning into strength, one awkward moment at a time. Comfort keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. Thorfinn knew that the only way forward was through the hard stuff. You gotta get uncomfortable on purpose. Cold showers, honest conversations, showing up when it's easier to hide. These are your training grounds. Every time you lean into discomfort, anxiety loses a little bit of control, and you gain a whole lot of it. The biggest boss battle in the world, it's you versus the you from 5 years ago. According to research in the Journal of Personality, true personal growth happens when you integrate your past self, not pretend it didn't happen. You don't become stronger by deleting your past self. You grow by standing next to that version of you and saying, "Thanks for the lessons, I'll take it from here." It's not about escaping who you were. It's about upgrading the software and keeping the data. Let's talk about peak character development. Thorfinn becomes a man of peace, but that transformation doesn't mean his past vanishes. He remembers every life he took, every scream, every regret, and instead of running from it, he builds Vinland, a land without war. That's not weakness, that's courage with calluses. Maybe you used to be a hothead, or a slacker, or someone you're not proud of. Now you're trying to lead, to grow, to be taken seriously, but people still treat you like your old self. That's frustrating, but guess what? That's okay. You're not trying to prove them wrong, you're proving yourself right. You don't have to hate your old self, you just have to outgrow them. You are not your worst moment. You are not your biggest mistake. You are who you choose to become today, tomorrow, and every day after. Thorfinn didn't erase his legacy. He built something stronger beside it. So go ahead, acknowledge who you were, then outgrow it. That's the final duel, and you're more than ready. Anxiety isn't a curse, it's a compass. It shows up when you're growing, when you're changing, when it matters. Just like Thorfinn, you don't have to silence it. You just have to listen, learn, and lead yourself forward. Challenge it, and when the storm rises, pick up your sword, plant your feet, and walk through it like the warrior you've become.